Welcome to this explainer on Joshua chapter 4. We're jumping right into a fascinating moment today where massive logistical coordination crashes right into the intentional creation of a nation's legacy. Now, think about the ultimate human challenge for a second. How do you ensure a huge, nation-defining event doesn't just fade from our collective memory? Well, today's historical text offers us a pretty brilliant, very physical answer to that exact problem. So let's get into it with Section 1, the Jordan River Crossing, a nation on the move. First off, the sheer scale of this is just staggering. We are talking about 40,000 armed men from Reuben, Gad, and half the tribe of Manasseh mobilizing and crossing right into the plains of Jericho. This absolutely wasn't some casual stroll. It was a massive, highly coordinated military transition. And moving 40,000 troops, that requires a solid anchor. Enter the priests. Carrying the Ark of the Covenant, they stood completely stationary right in the middle of the dry riverbed. They literally held their ground, while an entire nation hastily rushed past them. It's just an incredible visual. Moving on to Section 2, 12 Stones of Memory, Creating a Monument. Now, this part wasn't just some random rock collecting mission. It was a very strict procedure. Joshua called forward exactly 12 prepared men, that's one per tribe, to pull a single stone right from the riverbed where those priests stood and carry it all the way to their camp. But here is a truly fascinating detail. A second hidden memorial was actually built. Joshua set up a completely separate set of 12 stones directly in the middle of the riverbed, marking the exact spot the priests stood. And the text notes they were meant to remain there even after the waters came back. Which brings us to Section 3, the waters return, the crossing concludes. This whole sequence ends with some dramatic precision. Look at this timeline. After all the troops finally cross over, Joshua commands the priests to come up out of the riverbed, and the very second their feet hit dry land, the Jordan's waters violently crash back, flowing over all its banks just exactly as before. Talk about perfect timing. And this event is firmly anchored in the historical record. On the 10th day of the first month, they encamped at Gilgal, right on the eastern border of Jericho. And it's precisely in that spot that Joshua pitches those 12 river stones they carried over. Let's look at the why in Section 4. A message for tomorrow, the enduring purpose. So why go to all this immense effort? Well, these stones were actually designed as an interactive memorial, practically engineered to provoke natural curiosity. They just sat there in Gilgal, basically begging future generations of children to walk up and ask, "Hey, what mean ye by these stones?" The monument was essentially a permanent conversation starter. And the instructed answer? It was the ultimate historical pitch. Israel crossed the Jordan on dry land because the waters were literally cut off before the ark, a memorial for the children of Israel, forever. And if you're thinking this sounds familiar, you hit the nail on the head. This explicitly mirrored their foundational miracle, the crossing of the Red Sea. It deliberately connected a brand new generation's experience of the Jordan drying up to that legendary past, establishing this really powerful continuity of memory. Ultimately, the result of this memorial is twofold. First, a global broadcast so the whole earth might know the mighty hand of the Lord. And second, a generational reference so Israel would fear their God forever. It's a local anchor with a massive global message. Which brings us to a close. Joshua 4 really shows us the incredible power of intentional memory. Because if a monument of 12 unhewn stones can preserve history and spark questions centuries later, well, it leaves us with one pretty provocative thought to end on. What kind of stones are we leaving behind today to ensure tomorrow remembers?